It's taught me something this week. I love it when they teach you things, especially when they do it and they're not really planning to do so. My daughter, she's only 3, she's found this new little bear. Well, I say she's found it, she's re-found this little bear. And this bear is, you call him Rupert, but he's like dressed up in Father Christmas clothes, and he's holding a book, and he sways from side to side while he's reading the book, and the book is The Night Before Christmas. It's The Night Before Christmas, and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, they've heard that story many times, especially my eldest. Oh, he's heard it literally year in, year out, probably since he was born, and he's like nearly 6. But it was as if it was a new story to them. It was like they'd never heard it before. The way they just playing this bear on repeat and on repeat and on repeat, it's just so like, wow. This is a new story. This is one I've not heard before. This is like groundbreaking to me. It's telling the same story. But just because it's a bear swaying from side to side, holding the book and just doing a certain voice, it's like refreshed to them. And they're loving it. And it really made me think. I've been reading a lot about the Old Testament recently. And then obviously because of Easter and Lent, I've been really focusing on the New Testament as well. And just seeing the kind of combinations. And people used to always say, oh, Jesus declines, but like contradicts everything that is in the Old Testament, blah blah. It's like, it doesn't. When you look at it properly and you look at it clearly, it really doesn't. It's groundbreaking. I've been thinking about the whole eye for an eye context. And it's really interesting because when it's first talks about in Exodus, eye for an eye, it's in relation to pregnant women. I'm going to read it to you because it's like it's a bit of an eye actually. It goes, if people are fighting and they hit a pregnant woman and she gives birth prematurely, but there is no serious injury, the offender must be fined whatever the woman's husband demands and the court allows. But if there is serious injury, you are to take life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, bruise for bruise. So when you think of it in that context, it's a whole different ball game. It's actually like, this is new life that you're causing pain and suffering to you by your actions. That's why you should, receive justice for those actions. But taking all that aside, Jesus isn't denying that at all. I'll read the passage to you in that. You've heard it said, an eye for an eye. Let me just make sure I find the verse here because I want to make sure I read it right. But it says, you've heard it was said, an eye for an eye. But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to them the other cheek also. It's talking about evil actions and how you respond to them. It's not contradicting the same story. It's talking about how you interact with other people, how you engage with other people. The whole point is that you shouldn't be fighting next to a premature woman and causing her to have injury or the baby to have injury. You shouldn't be fighting, period. If an evil person is what is being labelled for somebody who is fighting somebody, then it's an evil act. It shouldn't be happening. But you are a good person. You should be looking at, actually, I'm going to go above and beyond. You see what I mean? I'm going to love. I'm going to counteract vice with love. I'm going to counteract anger and arguments with love. That's the powerful message. It's the same story. Because Jesus was before and is to come. It wasn't like, oh, Jesus only arrived now and everything he's trying to understand from before. It's the same message. Father, Son, same message coming across to you. Is there a message that you're trying to tell people today that isn't resonating, it's going in one and out the other? Maybe it's time to tell the story in a different way, but make sure your message is true. And then that will see the powerful kind of outcome of that. Tell your story in a different way today. Let's see what happens. Remain blessed.